Hello and welcome to your training videos. My name is Kelly. I'm with Halotasiva Consulting, and we're going to walk through step by step on how to maintain this site. Now, we've done it a couple different ways before where normally what we, well, not normally, but what we used to do is do a one-on-one training right as a site launched. It's just to give you the tools to be able to make the changes and thought that that would be the best way to do it. But what we figured out over time is that, the hour training session one-on-one for the first time that most people have seen how to maintain a site with WordPress was just really overwhelming. So what we decided to do was to do some training videos. So we're going to walk through the site page by page, aspect by aspect, everything in these training videos so you guys can watch them and become familiar, get in the back end, get a little comfortable, and then we're going to schedule the one-on-one training. So once the one-on-one training comes on or comes up, you've been in there, you've kind of seen what's going on, you actually have some questions, you're seeing how the stuff is working, and we see that it's a lot more productive. That hour is way more productive when you've had a chance to look at it. So the thing, and then after you have these training videos, after we have the one-on-one, you can go back and re-watch these training videos, and I promise you're going to take something else out of it that you didn't before. So let's go ahead and dive in. We have a lot to do. These videos are broken up into 15-minute segments. That is to for a few reasons. One, to reduce the file size, to make sure that we can move them around, upload them to YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but also to give you kind of bite-sized chunks, if you will, of information so that you're not too overwhelmed. So I don't suggest watching them, all in a row, start to finish, one sitting. I'd say, look at one, go in, have a little change, play with it in the site, see what's going on, see what you see, and then, maybe even watch that same video again. You'll solidify some things in your head and then move on. But we do want to go ahead and get these videos out to you so you can start managing your presence. But as always, we're here to answer any questions or help you in any way that we can. So let's dive in. Alright. So when you log in, let's get out of here. When you log in, you're going to come to a page that looks like this, right? So this is obviously from us. So if you for some reason lose Tiffany's email address, here it is. If she has anything to specifically to tell you about the site, to remind you, we're going to put it right here. We will follow up with an email to make sure you get that, so don't worry, you're going to miss anything. This is just as a backup. So from here, you have a few different options. So obviously these training videos are to teach you to maintain your site. So we're going to walk through every page to figure out what different aspects they are and how to make those aspects change in whatever you want. So let's start with the front page, the home page. I like to have this dashboard, this is called the dashboard, open. I also call this the back end of the site, open, to make your changes. And then I also like to have the front end of the site open, just to make sure that I can kind of see from the front end what we're looking at. It's a very different view, and having the front end open and referring back to them will actually help you see what's going on in the back end. So the way to do that actually from here, after you've logged in, is you see this DupontVet.com. If I hover over it, this little sub-menu comes up. It says Visit Site. I like to right-click and then open a new tab. And that brings up. So I have both of these going at the same time. Just makes my life a little easier. So here we have the main menu in the back end, dashboard, which is this area. Honestly, you don't really do anything here. I don't do anything here. We have blog posts, self-explanatory. We have media. If we click on that, this is how we get to our media library, which its use will become apparent as we start making changes to the site. But this is where you would add new things or kind of figure out where something is. If you think that something is on here but you can't find it, you can look for it here. This is where your contact forms are. So you have a bunch of them, different kinds. We'll come back to that probably at the very end of everything. It's a little more complicated and don't want to scare you off to begin with. Then we have manage pages. This is, managing your website pages, okay? And there's 78 pages here. So this is a lot of information that we're going to cover. We're going to do the best that we can, and we're going to go from there, okay? Then we have a place for you to moderate your blog comments. once you start posting blogs, you'll start getting comments, and this is where you can moderate them. You can approve them, trash them, make them public or not, or whatever from here. Then you have your account. For whatever reason, you need to change your password. This is where you would do it. New password, and then you repeat new password, and then you'd update your profile. This is where your testimonials live. Let's see, so Tiffany puts them in, I put them in, so you would click add new, or if you want to edit them, we're going to edit one and then we're going to look at the add new, just so you can see where all the information is. So Tracy D gave you a testimonial. We have her name, right? And then we have the testimonial. The only other thing that you got to be sure that you do is you come over here to categories and you make sure you click testimonial. Okay? We have a lot of different options in here. This will all make sense in a little while. But we're in the testimonial section. You have a new testimonial. You put the title, which is going to be the person's name. And then you have your content area, which is their actual testimonial. And then you have to go over here to categories and make sure that this is checked. Okay? And you click. If this is new, that button would say publish. Publish or update. And you're good to go. Okay? Then we have what's called this YouTube widget here, which you don't know what this means right now, but you will in a little bit, but that's where it is. Okay? So we're going to dive right into how to change some pages, okay? So manage pages. Now the way this page works itself is we programmed it so that this structure here would mimic your front end menu structure. So if you notice, we have home, we have these big, so it's like, let's get all these in so you can see the menu. Okay. So these are somehow outside of here. Hold on one second. We're gonna have to figure out where those go. But so home, about us, our services, wellness care, our blog, health topics, our forms, and contact us. Home, about us, our services, wellness care, blog, forms, contact us. Then we have health topics out here, which we need to change that. I can change that, and that's actually something that you can see. So we'll do that a little later. But the way we want it is for the contact us to be the last one on the list, right? So we did that so that you would be able to know where these pages are compared to, because otherwise the account actually, or WordPress actually puts these in alphabetical order. And when you have a ton of pages, when you have 78 pages, when you're trying to find something that's in alphabetical order, when you kind of sort of know where it is here, it's really difficult to find. So we wanted to make sure that you could find stuff easily and that you would, intuitively know where this kind of stuff is. So let's see. Let's dive right into the home page, okay? Alright, the thing that happens here is this comes up, ignore everything. You're going to come down to this blue, purpley, I don't see colors very well, area, whatever this is, whatever color this is. You come down here, you look at this area, and you want this publish area. Other than that, just ignore everything, okay? You're looking at this real colorful section here. So this looks really confusing, right? You're like, what does all of this mean? Well, this is why I keep the front end open, the main site, so that I can, get a visual representation of what aspects I'm dealing with here. So, I've got this full width slider, I've got whatever a sidebar is, then I have these. I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the front end. So here's your home page. You're familiar with this. This is our slider, right? And then we have all these different options, and we have this thing here that's separated by this line, okay? So you're like, all right, well, let's go back over here. So clearly we have our full width image slider here, right? These change. And we're like, okay, so that's where that is. And then this is clearly our sidebar, right? Just because it's over here all by itself. Like, okay, that works. And then we have client survey, special offers, pet memorials, okay, client survey, special offers, pet, so that makes sense. These are all labeled for you. We do this specifically for you to make sure that this is easy for you to update, but that's how it works. So these dividers are really just giving us a little space in here. You don't need to worry about them. That's legitimately just giving space. There's nothing else in here. So the good thing about these, so there's 6 of them, but they're exactly the same module. They act exactly the same way. So that makes your life a little easier. If you can master one, you've got the rest of this page down. You're good to go. So let's go back over here. Let's check out this client survey link. So to edit any of these, we click these 3 little lines. See, these all might look different. They might all be a part of something else. They're all, whatever. But they all have these 3 little lines. So that also makes it easy. If you want to change something, you click these 3 little lines. Okay. So we don't have a title. All right. We do have a URL. So that means that this is where, if you can see how this changes to a little hand, this is clickable, right? So this is where, the link is sending it to. Okay. So if you want to change that, you can change that, but that's where the survey is, so I don't see why you would ever change at least this one. Ignore these things. We're using an icon. This is an icon. So use icon, yes. And then you have this whole thing to choose from for icons. So you could actually come in here and choose something else. This one that's highlighted blue, this is the one we've chosen, which makes sense. Here it is. But you could choose something else in here. You're good, whatever suits you. The icon color is black. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to go down, and then client survey is here. So this text is actually this text. Okay. Down here in the content area. So that might look complicated. This might be a whole lot of stuff to choose from, but really all you're going to mess with is URL and content, if you mess with it ever. Now, say we changed this, you would always click save and exit. Okay, if you save it, it's just saving it while you're in here right now. It doesn't save it for later on. To update the front end of the site and to save it for later on, you have to click update. And I always think that in my head of updating the website, right? So you made a change, you want to update it. So we're going to ignore everything until we come down here to this purpley blue area and make sure we can see this publish area. Okay. Now every now and then WordPress will update and you'll come into it and it looks like this. And you're like, where is my page? And you start to freak out because you think it's gone. Well, it's not. Okay. All you have to do is you have to go over here to this down arrow, click this down arrow, and voila, there it all is. Okay. So we've talked about how the client survey link works. Good thing is the rest of these all work the same. Again, I said ignore the dividers. But the special offers link, the pet memorial, the prescription refill, the client survey link. Why are those say client survey link? And that's not what they are. So another little tidbit here is these little labels are called admin labels, and the only thing that they serve a purpose for is to show on the back end what something actually is, just to give you an idea of where it is. So we're just gonna update these. So that the new client form is here. So we're just gonna update this admin label. Again, you probably never have to do that, but I made a change. So I have to save and edit, and then I'm gonna update here because even though it's not changing anything on the front end, to save anything for later in here, I still have to click update. Okay. So we do have a couple more things. Let's do the full width slider. So again, 3 little lines. We have all of these slides, which means there's that many pictures that, I don't know if you can hear my cat. Sorry if you can, he's being obnoxious. These images, there's that many of these images here. Okay. Now again, it seems like a lot. And there's all these different things. You don't have to mess with all these different things. Only these slides. But the good thing is they all act the same. So 3 little lines, right? So the only thing that you're going to have to change here is this background image. Now don't get confused with this slide image, okay? The slide image does a whole different kind of thing. What it would do, it put the little image right here. So not full width, but like just a little box right here. You don't want that. So for the way this is set up, this full width slider, we're doing a full background image, which means that it's from side to side, like it completely fills up this whole area. Okay? So background image. Now, good thing is they all work the same. So 3 little lines, change the background image. Now the way this works, so say you want to change that image. We're going to upload an image. We have 2 different options. We can upload files from our computer. So you select files, you select from your computer, right? Or you have a media library.